Lifesteal. Warlock.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Naga Siren.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Sand King.
Dire team pick.
Storm Spirit.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Shadow Fiend.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Enigma.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Elder Titan.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Lion.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Prepare for battle. "30 seconds to battle." The battle begins.
Stupendous, my master.
Denied!
That's not for the likes of you.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Power. First blood. Monster cub. Gold for nightfall.
Lions. Money changes hands.
D9.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Stupendous! Over here!
I felt that.
Blown away!
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You blew it!
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Lights out!
A beautiful soul for my collection.
Dire's top tower Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Here I am.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Killing spree! Ownage!
Go into the light.
Regeneration.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Try again.
Gold for my folk.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'll take that.
Haste!
Dominating! Ownage!
Do not fear.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Ha! Looking for me? Whoa, what a miss! Blew the man down!
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Ha!
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Double damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Zip zap.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Killing spree! Double kill!
Next incarnation.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Stupendous.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Loaded to the gills.
Zap.
Dire's middle tower is
My
under attack.
body in the deep.
Strike you down.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
I'm getting a second wind. Here I am.
Everything is out.
I'll take your tribute.
here now.
Invisibility.
Aim for my feet.
Haste!
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Money changes hands.
I'll take that.
Loaded to the gills. Regeneration!
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is
Storm was coming. I blew.
Killing spree! Triple kill!
Let the fun begin.
Mega kill! Dominating! Ultra kill!
Zip. Over here. Over here now. Over here.
I'll take your tribute.
Stupendous! Invisibility! Regeneration.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Whoa, what'd I miss?
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'm over here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Regeneration! Loaded to the gills!
Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
Stupendous! Here I am.
I'll take your tribute.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Peace.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Gold for my master.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Touché.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Loaded to the gills.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Money changes hands.
Mine. I'll take that.
Zip zap!
Gold for my fort. Elemental gold.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Stupendous!
Loaded to the gills.
Invisibility! Revenge ever renewing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Illusion.
Radiant structures are fortified. Rashad has fallen to the Radiant. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gold for my folk.
Money changes hands. Zap!
I'll take that.
Hell's Gates swing!
How can this be? Don't put me in a box.
Looking for me? Where's the party?
Elemental gold. Mine.
Zip! Zip-zap!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Stupendous! Over here now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Here I am. Invisibility.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Zip.
Dominating! Double kill!
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Where's the party? Over here.
Killing spree! Double kill!
No longer.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has been denied. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Mega kill! Own it! Double kill!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks have fallen. Dire victory.
lightsaber's like it's right at that sweet timing where it's like
10 seconds
it gives me my
remaining.
early game transition and adds power to.
Running for the
5 seconds remaining.
back. Kevin, what do you itemization overall at the tournament?
Reserve
Stuff for
time.
sure. Yeah, let's say things like the Midas build,
Radiant team ban.
itemization stuff to be figured out still.
Minuses as a whole, right? Like across the board, there have been a lot of
Quite
them.
a few, yeah.
I think with the addition of talents into the game now, it makes a lot more sense to kind of push yourself past
10
the level of
seconds
6.
remaining.
Whereas
So,
before you're like, oh, I'm 16, I don't
yeah,
care
before
what
it's like
happens.
you wouldn't want to be a
5
higher level because
seconds
you give up
remaining.
more gold and you give up more experience, give up
always
death
forever.
timer,
Yeah.
everything. So now it makes
Dire
sense
team
to
ban.
get to higher levels because we have such amazing talents at level 20 and level 25 that kind of almost change your hero.
Even those like those level 10 experience gain, like Tusk, for example, I don't really think he's a Midas hero. But when you have plus 40% experience
10
gain, like
seconds
that Midas looks really good because you
Did,
just,
yeah.
you just immediately, you get level 10, you have that
5
Midas, you
seconds
immediately get to level 15, you get 150 extra damage on Snowball. That's still value when
Reserve time.
So maybe the talents have changed. We are into the draft. Are we going to see the bans? That's the first question to come to. And
Naga's already gone.
Yeah, I
and,
think
and,
Naga
and
was
did
the problem.
Newbee do we attack this? Do they just go? That's
No,
not
this
really
is-
why.
Vista
Leave it.
They're just going to be left.
Naga was the problem because it's the only split pusher in the game that can
Radiant
actually
team
kind of
ban.
win you the game because it still gives you really good team fight potential.
Right.
Most of the other split pushers aren't really a thing right now.
It's good that Newbee is kind of isolated. Puts the spoiler on OG complete draft. It makes them change.
Flying the Enigmas
Yeah.
easily. He's
10 seconds
actually have to go like
remaining.
Blink Dagger early rather than just Midas into B.
Most likely to see like
5
Centaur or
seconds
Magnus
remaining.
instead out of S4. The Enigma seems. I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to it later.
I think, yeah.
Dire team pick.
Interesting.
In which case,
Protecting defensive supports. Yes.
defensive supports, I think Lifestealer is also still very value when you're the Magnus, because you're talking about like, okay, you're talking about more
10
melee
seconds
heroes if
remaining.
you're running a Magnus. And it's also good.
Radiant team pick.
Lifestealer Mag.
I was going to say we go back to G now, flip round and take the lifestealer.
Has No-Tail played a lot of
10
Lifestealer?
seconds remaining.
I feel like
They've
it's
been-
not a hero that
Yeah.
they've turned to very much, if at all.
5 seconds remaining.
I feel like it fits his playstyle, but it hasn't been the hero that they picked up. Way more terribly.
Okay, they're going to lock in the Enigma. They like the Enigma from the
it.
first game.
Very-
Even without the Naga this time around, they go with it. And we're going to see the Monkey King.
Dire team pick.
The last time that OG did, they basically jungle. Jerax was sitting off lane sort of position, just gave,
Radiant team ban.
so he
There you
actually
go.
accelerated quite a bit. On a lot of other effective lanes, slightly different monkey.
I was thinking last game, what if they took Rubik
Yeah.
instead of that Lion?
10 seconds remaining.
Maybe they would have had a little bit more struggle with illusions, and maybe they wouldn't have been able to deal with Storm Spirit quite as
5
well, but
seconds
it would have
remaining.
solved that kind of like refresher Enigma problem. You know, now Rubik can just steal the Black Hole and Black Hole Enigma, and all of a sudden
Dire team
Enigma's just
ban.
going to die, most likely.
I think this is one of the rare times viable support. Feels so bad right now, unless
Really?
you're versus an. I was talking to who was it?
I like him.
You still like him?
I've liked him ever since like the
10
addition of
seconds
talents.
remaining.
I was telling the story. It was like I was playing a pub against Boba, and he
5
messaged me
seconds
afterwards. He was like,
remaining.
"Don't pick Rubik. That hero's bad right now." And I was like, I feel
Maybe he
feel
was
like
just,
it's
maybe
bad.
he was just putting you down
yeah,
soft.
maybe, maybe. It's the Rubik. It's not you. It's the Rubik. I swear. But no, it just like feels not very impactful. Like all of these other scaling supports, excluding this point, right, where Rubik is scaling because he's versus an.
He got a level 10 GPM talent. I know it's only 60.
It's only 60.
But I'm telling you,
You might as well take the 50 damage and
no,
right-click
no,
creep some more.
no. It makes a difference.
Team
It
ban.
You just walk around, you let all your carries farm, and if you die a couple times, you get that blink dagger that a lot of position 5s don't really get.
All right, well, I'm going to tell Boba's a dumbass because I'm not going to argue with
10 seconds
No,
remaining.
Bola is a very smart tactician, and I look forward to
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
The obvious who Does Newbee get the first pick? Banning.
I think the problem
OG first.
for Newbee is that they can't actually all of the laning phase match up well against Parablade, Lifestealer.
Bad with a.
Because
Could
he's going to
work
have
out well.
kiting issues, right?
Is
He
that
can
a,
kill
is
right
that a
easy.
no-tail hero?
Not
Good.
really, no.
Another.
I feel like we're just making up no-tail heroes right
That's
now.
true.
Oh come on, he can play a lot of stuff.
But will he?
Probably.
I think I read somewhere last week he's players in the world heroes played in pro games.
Probably because he's also played a bunch of roles and he's played
And
a
he's been
crap load of
here
games.
forever. Yeah.
Dire team ban.
There's like a certain set of like 8 heroes that are no-tail heroes, and I feel like they've been recycled for about 2 years now, or ever since he switched carry, which isn't a bad thing. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's true.
he is very, very good at those.
Oh, just
Vogue and Ember gone.
just realized what the silencer is banned because they wanted to open Enigma.
That makes sense.
It must mean they're not scared of the Warlock, is what that. I thought silencer the laning. The hero that contributes better to the lane than Warlock does, but still counters block.
Yeah, we did see how late game you're just like, okay, I have a
10
refresher
seconds
and you
remaining.
don't.
Alchemist.
In the previous game, they, what was it, like 3rd or 4th picked Enigma?
Dire team
Yeah.
pick.
And it gave them, gave Newbee way less options to kind of counter the Enigma, which is, I think is worrisome for OG, taking Enigma first 2 and allowing Newbee to really just kind of set up for him.
Yeah, as the game ended, I thought for sure they're going to ban Enigma second phase.
Might have Lifestealer right here for Newbee again.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah,
Do you want to do it against an
Uh,
Enigma? Seemed like it had some trouble. It's kind of good, but it
It had
also
a-
had issues.
It had a little bit of trouble, but I think that they're going to be better prepared for the Black Hole this game. And Lifestealer was still putting in quite a lot of work. Even like that wasn't against a Naga too. Naga's a tough matchup for Lifestealer.
Yeah. that's why EG were just like first picking it. It's a day 2 group stage.
Yeah, a lot of teams have first pick in Lifestealer. It's one of the few carries that you can get away with it, I think.
Oh, they take the Ursa instead.
Radiant
I like
team
that better.
pick.
It's a lot more effective at killing Alchemists. Like, Lifestealer's good, but once you have Manta style, you just jump out of open wounds,
Yeah.
chase problems. So Ursa can just actually kill within about 2 or 3 stops.
Could be a potential mid matchup as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Played against that.
Gives you a
Yeah,
laning
the other
phase
day.
threat.
It was,
Remaining.
I saw.
was not a fun time.
Yeah, you
I
looked
was like,
very
oh,
unhappy.
level 2 up. Go
Five
jungle.
seconds
Time to jungle, guys.
Oh, I'd like that a lot. The mid Ursa, and then
Yeah.
put something like hard
Reserve
carry in
time.
a safe lane, perhaps Morphling.
I like the
More flank.
Morphling.
Most likely going to see Fly's hero right here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he really likes against Ursa. Up
Centaur.
against,
It
yeah,
looks
he's up
decent.
against Centaur as well. Might be helpful to have a little bit more lockdown.
I didn't do that on purpose,
Confident.
but there it is.
It's a safe pick. They seem to love the hero.
They'll have lots more minus. I just feel like the coolest thing about Visage as a hero concept is that if somebody jumps
10
on you and
seconds
you're a support,
remaining.
okay, they can silence you, they can hex you, but you always have defensiveness with your birds. That's
5
a really nice
seconds
thing about the
remaining.
hero. So
You can peel for yourself.
it's kind of self-sufficient.
Reserve time.
Also a nice Roshan scouter.
Yeah,
For this
exactly.
Ursa.
That's stuff that OG all likes.
I think like most of the Chinese teams, whenever they've been dealing with alchemists, they usually don't like putting pressure on themselves to end the game early and instead just try and scale. But I feel like the Ursa says that like we actually are going to try like deal with the alchemist early, and we're going to
Radiant team
actually
Fourth
get a
pick,
4 position.
Morphling.
At,
See, there.
I mean, I don't think there was any other carry that could
Yeah,
actually.
and it's
breathe
it's really
like that.
smart of them to fourth pick it
Yeah.
because it's a very possible ban. They're probably like Jarex is laughing because they probably predicted it and they were like, okay, we'll ban Morphling.
10 seconds
Newbee,
remaining.
Faith, this guy champion, too smart.
5 seconds remaining.
The last 2 bans here, Newbee looking for support, OG is going to be looking for carry.
So Peter, if you're
Reserve
Newbie, do you want a 4 position that kind of roams and puts a lot of pressure on Alchemist early, or do you feel like with the Morphling pickup, you can try and play a little bit more of a scaling game and pick up 4 position scales later?
I think you want to scale
Yeah,
later. I
think
think
so, too.
Ursa is going to lay some hands on Alchemist in the mid lane. So Alchemist is going to
Yeah.
have to retreat to the jungle very, very early.
You've already got your early game covered between Centaur, Ursa, and Rubik. So what are the best 4 positions that really scale for this game?
I I don't know. I don't have an answer for it. There's too many.
Yeah, they need
Too
more
many
lockdowns.
options.
So
Yeah, some
probably
more
something
lockdown would be-
Romish that has lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, Newbee has a ton of options. I think for OG, my one concern for them right now is I think that they have a lot of potential to be rushed down in these team fights.
10 seconds
Like if
remaining.
Newbee comes in initiating very, very quickly, their only kind of peel is at Enigma Black Hole, and he might be really forced and rushed to do it, which is going to make
Dire
stealing Black Hole incredibly easy for Rubik.
Ooh.
Underrated
Unexpected
hero.
IO pick.
Okay.
Alchemist's going to have some real problems in the mid lane now.
Yeah. I don't know if Monkey King can offset that one.
Yeah, Whisper for Monkey King. I was asking for
Yep.
that in the group stage.
Yep. It was touted as a.
Outworld.
Hey, listen.
Now, and we've got an
Safe
OD
lane
as a
out,
last
okay.
pick as well. So, very quickly, gents,
Oh.
which way do you like this one, Purge?
I gotta go with OG. I think the fight's pretty good. They can save allies. I like it.
I don't think Newbee will make the same mistakes twice. This time around, they've got the early game lineup that should be able to rush OG. Same mistakes they did in game 1.
Rush down from Newbee. I think they're going to take it. We're going to have a game 3.
All right. Okay. Opinions abound. Obviously, first game was black hole laden. Are we headed for a same second game? Let's find out as we head back to our commentary team of Melini and Toby One.
Well, I do hope, Brad, we get to a game 3, mainly because I want to watch these guys play more Dota. Game number 1 was absolutely brilliant, a perfect start to the playoffs for DAC. Game number 2 comes around. The panel was actually along the same line of thoughts as you, Ben. It's a Newbee early push kind of style to keep OG down.
They have a problem, though, trying to find the Alchemist, because now they're doing Alchemist safe lane, or Noto will be playing the Alchemist. So how do you actually contest the safe lane? Normally, you deal with Alchemist by pressuring him in lane. Ursa versus Alchemist is a very Ursa-favored matchup. It's great for Ursa, but I don't know if they're going to put Ursa in the off lane. Possibly.
It would seem like one of those risks, but it wouldn't be something unusual to Newbee. Newbee, no strangers to running an aggressive off lane and leaving KP up in the safe lane, but then how does that make all the other matchup work up? And is that really what you want to do, like, with your heroes? Like, are you still going to hit that timing where you can attack directly into OG?
That's what they wanted to do. I think it's going to be similar to last game in that they want to invade the jungle very early on. And I think this game they actually drafted way better against the Black Hole because they have multiple ways to actually prevent the people from dying in case they do get Black Hole. They have Relocate out, which is great. Rubik no field is not great, but he can't steal the Black Hole, and Centaur Axe is also pretty decent. So multiple ways. And also, if you go full Agi on Morph, you'll take like 5 damage from Midnight Pulse. Sick.
That's the way to counter. Yep. Obviously, the most strongest late game counter in the game now, Morphling against the Enigma.
And then on the flip side, you have potentially, what, like 3 Midnight Pulses at once? With you cast Midnight Pulse, you
have the one
cast Black Hole, and then you refresh, and you
right.
Midnight Pulse again, and then you Black Hole. Oh my god, there's 3 Midnight Pulses.
You were actually commenting on it during game number 1, the fact that S4 somehow managed to get like 2 Midnight Pulses almost perfectly on top of each other, so you didn't realize you actually had 2 inside that Radiant jungle fight.
Yeah, the cat's animation is like, it's very nondescript. It's just, he's just like, you know, does a little wave of his hands. Oh, I'm just going to do this thing that kills all your HP. And it's very good versus the strength-based Centaur. Not so great versus other heroes, though. But life-based damage, so it scales.
All right, so Newbee are currently being watched by the Red Paw Courier, which may just happen to be a hero and not just being a courier snipe, but KP will take the rune.
Joys of being 350 move speed courier. Every Monkey King's dream.
Surprisingly, they don't actually do anything to really contest the Centaur. No-Tail didn't go up for the bounty rune. He just sits on bottom lane, trying to body block it up, and actually ended up missing melee creep. So, Red Paw, most powerful courier in the game, as we can see right now.
It would be super easy for them to contest. They didn't actually know the lane, so like a Wisp Ursa can easily chase down an Ursa level 1. So they don't want that to happen. Worth sacrificing the bounty rune for that. So they will aggro, but not with the Ursa. Ursa will be one-on-one versus the Enigma up top, and they currently have the Rubik and the Wisp down here to contest Flying Company.
And that's some really good warning down from Newbee too. So the sentry would have blocked the camp. Their observer ward they did under the cover of smoke. Ooh. So even though OG had their own observer ward there, they don't actually know that Newbee got their own down.
One of the things I like most about No-Tail is he's not greedy. A lot of carry players are greedy, like go Midas whenever they can. This dude gets as a spray at level 1 because he knows he's getting contested. How great is that?
You got to zone him out.
You got to win the lane. If you don't win the lane, you're just going to be stuck trying to catch up all game. And he's trying his best to actually win the lane. So, not skilling up bounty at level 1, sometimes completely necessary when you expect this from the draft from Newbee.
So who do you actually like Newbee are running this IO as well as Rubik. Now, Rubik has been renowned for not having as much effect unless he's with like a Juggernaut spin kind of combination. So his telekinesis doesn't do as much until he hits a higher level. So you get that that level 2 Fade Bolt to do some work. How does that really match up against a hero like a Monkey King, for example, who's meant to just be bouncing around all the time? Fly, who also needs to have his earlier levels.
Well, I don't think Monkey King is that great on try and try because you can't. You're great again in like 2-on-1 situations because you can just go 1-on-1 versus a Lawfully or Jingu Mastery just crushes that. But you can't actually right click that often here. His armor's really, really low. He's going to be trading a lot of right clicks versus these heroes, and then you have to worry about the lift into stomp. So Rubik doesn't do that much damage on his own, but when you pair it with Hoof Stomp and Double Edge, things can get real rough, real fast.
And this top lane matchup should be easy enough for the Ursa, even though obviously Enigma's going to be taking a lot of experience off the lane.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Yeah.
Getting your range creep denied.
But you can't even like zone him out. Like you want to run at him with phase boots, you go for a quick clap. It's not going to do much because then the Enigma goes down, triggers Shrine, then farms up over on the tree lines.
I don't think that was
intentional.
Actually, he got a salve. He kept the salve going. Actually, that was definitely intentional. For some reason, I thought he was trying to set up with the Monkey King, but what are you going to do with level 1 Monkey King? Nothing.
Anna's not had the easiest time to start with. He was actually trying to last hit underneath his tower, and the only levels that was almost impossible for him. So we actually watched him miss like 2 or 3 last hits into a tower before.
Yeah, he's doing very well on lane. Normally you'll see Wisp paired with Morphling in the mid lane because they wanted the Wisp in the off lane. That's going to make the mid lane way weaker. But Morphling 1-on-1 is not the best.
Oh, bottom lane. There's your first blood. It's Fly, who'll be brought down by Newbee. Hoof stomped and controlled.
Man, the lights in the arena are going crazy. First blood for Newbee, everything's shining blue.
China #1! That's what it's all about.
Dyer's
That was cool. Maybe they're gonna like do it on stream, just like blue flag. I want to kind of check out the Chinese stream because of that.
It's just the crowd, man. It's the crowd. All right, so
Ursa still has really good CS, 17 and 11.
Yeah.
And Fly is just like, I'm going to get more XP in the jungle, but letting the Ursa get off to a really good start.
It's the trade-off though, right? Like, it's the fact the Alchemist is going to get some farm down the bottom lane. So his money is going to start to roll in. Yeah, you've still got KP getting some good levels, but it's the trade-off. So both off-laners are getting really what they want. Jirax now going to jump in. They do have that slow on the KP. KP needs to try to hook stop and create a little bit more space, but it just won't work. Soul Assumption from Fly. The damage is just too much, and Jirax looking to beat through Faith a little bit harder. Can't get the full stacks up, and they will get the kill on the off-lane. So off-lane's getting everything they want, apart from the death on KP.
Pretty greedy play from Faith. You try to lift the Visage so he didn't cast Soul Assumption, but he was already dead by that. Like, it was almost already connected on Centaur by the time he lifted. Maybe lifting the melee and stunning one of them would have maybe saved Centaur. He could have at least fogged on the right side.
There's that IO combination you're talking about, just slipping into mid.
Yeah, it's not a lane that Morphling should win on his own at all. So they definitely need the backup from him. So Morphling doesn't have to invest as much in regeneration and can CS. He's actually beating the OD in CS.
Oh, here we go again. Pick up, throw back down, Hoof Stomp, Double Edge. Is there enough damage? The Alchemist still fighting under his own acid spray, but there's not damage from KP. Faith will lose his life. Even if he didn't die to Fly, then Jirax was pouncing in through the rear, and it's KP who is now on the run. Needs to get back to the Shrine, which will be able to do so. And the Tranquil Boots can do the heal unless he wants to be a little bit quicker and just try and trigger.
They're still losing a lot despite killing.
Oh,
this is
real trouble for him. S4's going to fall down. Io, great rotation, and you don't see it on the ball. Actually, you do. He has this blue cloud around him, but the convergence almost killing him off. He's getting back to the tower, but Kaka, he'll tether back down again. He knows he's okay, and they'll get the extra farm.
Did he get the bottle refill on top?
Yeah, he did.
That's tough. That's another life for them. Ooh, immediate smoke afterwards. So it looks like similar build coming up from Enigma with the Arcane early. I wonder if he goes for Greaves this game. Probably not. I don't really see anything to Greaves off. And I don't think they're going to be 5-manning that much because of the Alchemist.
He'll probably only do it if he had to like be more efficient on his item slots. Because he still needs to be the mech carrier, right? Like, unless Fly's going to do that work. Waveform, middle lane, Hannah. It's a 3-on-1 at the moment. There's no real support. Courier was coming in with something, but it's already too late.
That bottle reveal actually like made a big deal there because you don't expect the Wisp to be topped up. And Wisp isn't going to tether in with like 200 HP, which is die. So that was a big play by the Rubik coming in there. And they will secure themselves a 6 minutes rune. They are going double bottle too. I see some core players and Wisp players that like are really against the double bottle in the mid lane if you have a Wisp, but I think on Morphling it makes a lot of sense because when you're like agi morphing in base, it just takes you forever to heal up. That's such a nuisance when you play Morphling, is just healing up the base after strength morphing down.
Care about his life when he goes to waveforms like that, just posturing against Ana. The full tri-lane's back on bottom lane for Newbee again, and this is when Monkey King is actually left in the lane, so Alchemist just abandoned and gone into the jungle, and it's Monkey King who's trying to hide in the tree lines to the right of the safe lane. Leech some experience. He really wants to find the farm, however, so he can at least finish up some phase boots, but Newbee understand there's only one hero down there. It's just a support hero, and the perfect Radiant scan. Faith and Kaka are moving over. It's a little bit earlier than the 8-minute rune, but this is forcing a rotation to come in, and as Jirax, ETP's off the bottom lane, jumps further down. Remember, there's still no bounty rune to fight over the top of. With Fly rotating in, they can potentially pick up one of these supports. They turn their attention towards Kaka with the stun and Soul Assumption. Kaka will be punished.
Maybe too predictable by Newbee, doing exactly the same move that they did last game. Smoke into the jungle, place wards, and then try and get a gank during nighttime.
Their advantage is the ward circle, which went down from OGs in the wrong spot. Their thinking is over on the cliff side, but it's actually watching the bounty rune, so their sentry wards can be misplaced. Well, here they go again. Waveform forward, No-Tail picked up, wants to go on the run, the tether out as well. They have enough damage. It's SC who will take the kill. Sentry ward was placed just a little bit too late. So they understand the Observer ward is there, but the damage is done. The Alchemist is down.
And they'll have Stampede pretty soon too, so they can keep up the pressure on the Alchemist. Morphling doing very well in terms of CS, still above the OD. Ursa, wonder when he's going to start making moves.
Make a break for the trees, Jirax. KP's trying to cut his way through. If he can Quelling Blade down the tree, he'll do it. But the Wisp Spirit Balls trying to reveal, having to go deeper, just bouncy, bouncy.
You know, I was looking at Dotabuff, and I think Wisp has one of the highest win rates versus Monkey King, and I think a lot of it is because of the tree breaking and the flying vision that he reveals. Well, not really flying vision, but vision that he reveals with the balls if he hits the hero.
Yep.
But I mean, if you had a theory crap monkey counters, you would pretty much never think of Wisp.
Well, the first ones which were coming up was Beastmaster. Like you get the Flying Hawk, you get like unobstructed vision from Night Stalker or Coddle. Like
yeah,
Coddle was probably one of the more common pickups we saw against him during the group stage.
Collateral, Night Stalker, Bat Rider, Timber, those are the ones that normally people think of to kill the trees, but Wisp is just not one that really comes to mind.
But Wisp comes to anyone's mind during this tournament. I don't know if like how many times it's been picked in this tournament, but I think this was one of the first ones I've seen.
I like the Wisp pickup here a lot though, because it allows them to keep pressuring the Alchemist without having to back off. Like you want to be able to keep a constant pressure, get a kill, you know, whatever, heal up, and then keep going again. It's also pretty good at dealing with acid spray too when you're trying to siege towers. Sustain's a very big issue when you're getting whittled down constantly by acid spray. And
they're coming for another kill. It's going to be Jirax, pick him up with the telekinesis, Faith dragging him back in. Jirax is a 3-man stun. Verify will not allow him to survive, however. The Ancients are making life a little bit more difficult to get out of here. Kaka has tethered back off cooldown, but he's not a healthy chappy.
These wards are all up in OG's jungle. Look at this. One on the shrine on the left side, one checking out the camp on the left, and then one on the shrine on the right. So they have very good coverage of what they are trying to do. OG.
Yeah, thanks to that Observer ward, they saw Jirax jumping towards Roshan. The Newbee will back out just quickly.
Their Roche contest is actually really poor. They don't have Midnight Pulse skilled yet on the Enigma, so they don't actually have enough damage to potentially deal with Roche.
Yes, that's straight up stun. The 4-4-0-1.
4-4-0 is pretty interesting.
You expect at 1 point, right?
Usually, just to break trees. But maybe he doesn't want to break trees because of the Monkey King.
Yeah, he actually works against his own team if he does that.
So they find an Observer Ward, so that's pretty good for them. They need to be able to flush Newbee out of their jungle. Because he just doesn't want... Okay, yep, there he goes.
Yeah, and the ward further to the north actually timed out. So the only remaining aggressive ward here, Newbee, is the one that's down the shrine. That doesn't help them when they're trying to go for Roshan.
What's U9's build? Vlad's Rush. Okay.
Well, if you are going to try and run at OG and try and keep the pressure down, Vladimir Zora is definitely going to help you with that.
Sometimes blink, however, because the Centaur was in a try-on-try, so a lot of his XP and farm is going to be taken up. But it looks like he's actually still going to blink at a very good timing. 12 minutes if he doesn't die.
And at the moment, OG is too busy looking towards Roshan, so KP's got a lot of space on the top lane.
Yep.
Even Rubik is able to farm, and like he's halfway down through the bottom lane, farming that.
How's our Alks items? I know he was going for Armlet earlier, but assume he's going to go for Radiance after.
Yeah, he's
like
got a quick buy. Nothing unusual for Notal. The only thing unusual is just the lane switch up. Anna's a little bit behind, which isn't too terrific, but he's only 600 behind the Morphling.
Yeah, it's Midas.
So
he can also get pulled in Ags.
He can also be pulled in Ag. No, he cannot. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that to an OD.
Set it up for a black hole? Oh, yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's actually one of the very rare situations where an Ags and an OD is something you do want.
It's not the worst thing in the world.
It just seems so odd with, like, delaying the game with the imprisonments.
Think of the stats, Toby.
Think of the stats.
10 intelligence.
Think of the hero you want to try and focus down. Don't give them time to get abilities back off cooldown.
Oh, man, Black Hole and Monkey King Hole? That's nasty.
That's when you wait for Rubik. Oh, although relocate down the bottom lane. Goodbye, Jirax. Leon was already doing the work. Kaka got it nice and early.
But the Wispas are actually pretty good at preventing him from jumping the trees, too.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Really good maneuvering. Top lane, Kaka returns up here. The Observe Ward's down, and Otal adds a spray. Would love to get this kill if he can. Soul Assumption from Fly. It still doesn't do the work. End up surviving to the full stomp from KP. He reveals the Blink Dagger.
Whole team's here.
Yep, pretty much.
Rubik's 6 now, so they have to be very careful.
Morphling's rotating up. Monkey King's trying to get here. He TP'd over towards the shrine. So it's going to be our first big 5-on-5 engagement. Stampede is not available at the moment for Newbee, so be careful about that. But when you kill off one of the familiars, that's a good start. Fly will be forced to resummon already. Monkey King ready to jump in through the rear. S4, they're going to actually defensively imprison him at the moment, unless that actually belongs to Fate. They pick him up. They're tossing him around like a ragdoll. Monkey King tries to create a little bit of space. S4, the black hole is stolen by the Rubik. He doesn't survive long enough to use it. However, it's U9 who's left on the front lines, trying to just man-mode this up. And he won't be able to. The imprisonment keeps him out of the fight. And OG do not want any part of this. There's farm on bottom lane, there's farm on mid lane. There's no reason to keep this battle going.
Very risky black hole by S4. He was on a sliver of health. I really like Derek's positioning that fight. He was like off to the southeast. They were trying to approach slowly the other trees. It looked like they were hitting the familiars, but they were really looking for the Monkey King that fight. But they couldn't find him, and then he was able to get his ult off. He just died immediately after to Ursa.
SC again posturing against Anna.
So it might be Roche time now. Black Hole's down. Wukong's command is down. Should be pretty happy about this.
Oh, and if you can get both the familiars as well, it's even bigger.
They are so good at killing those familiars.
There's no resummon, and you have to ping out the fact the Observer was there. It's already deep-watered, so Newbee a little bit dark. They don't understand exactly where that Observer Ward is from OG. It's just north of the pit, is seeing a fair amount, but Jirax can't get close enough to the pit to really contest it without just throwing his own life away. So they have to let it go. And Newbee, just shy of the 15-minute mark, will claim the first Roshan.
Very hard for OG to stop the Roche, though. Like, what are you going to do? Not use Black Hole? And then Newbee just split pushes and farms and takes fights outside. But as soon as you use Black Hole, they just go inside a Roche. So kind of lose-lose for OG there. But they do have the Alchemist. That is the crux of their strategy.
Yep, and he's rapidly approaching that Radiance. We do have the next aggressive item also appeared on the Ursa, so his Blink Dagger is now up and running. Combining up with the Vlads and the Aegis, it's very easy for Newbee to go full-on aggressive now.
I don't think they're going to be able to shut down the Radiance timing, though. I don't really think they cared that much about the Radiance because of the Morphling pick, too. You can always just ult it.
It turns against the Alchemist.
The OD is actually really good at dealing with it, though. I think OD is one of the best heroes at dealing with Morphling illusion. Doesn't have a built-in Hex, but he's one of the best cores to do so.
Because of his orb?
Yeah, the orb. 2-3 shots. The Alk thing doesn't have that much HP either. It just has a lot of regen, so it's really susceptible to burst.
Rotation in from behind on the top lane as Monkey King pounce up. KP, well, they kind of knew Jirax was there, as Jirax will pounce in a little bit deeper, but the tier 1 tower is already gone. The conversions for S4 were doing the work. Tier 1 tower is lost.
Lincoln's first on the Rubik, so he wants to, or sorry, on the Enigma to deal with the Rubik.
It's probably the only way to stop him from stealing your black hole. Is there anything else that can really trigger it, though, actually?
Adaptive strike.
Okay. But the Morphling is probably not going to be sitting there going, I have to adaptive strike to your Enigma.
That's good. To bop his Lincolns to stop a black hole, that's... the thing about the Rubik, though, is he can also just Fateful them.
Jirax preparing to pounce the stun and the ultimate. Kaka is not a healthy man. U9 will be able to run out of range of it, however. But it keeps him away from the tier 1 tower, and you expend an MK ulti.
The way the soldiers spawned, or Kingsguard, whatever you want to call it, Toby, they actually just cleared an easy path for the Wisp to walk out. Usually you're really hard pressed to find a way to walk out without getting slammed by those.
I love that you remember my terminology from the group stage. The Kingsguard. There goes the tier 1 tower. U9 able to claim that. So more and more map control being opened up for Newbee as they basically make OG's jungle a lot more difficult to move into.
Something they weren't able to do last game, Newbee, is...
SC saw that. SC most definitely saw that.
There's no way to cut down trees, though, unless you tether.
Oh, that's why Io's on the way up. He'll tether forward, but already he's a slippery little monkey. Thanks, Jack.
Might be time to get a quelling on Morph. I think he has slots. He didn't go for Blight, so
it's not the craziest idea.
It's definitely not. No. He doesn't have the Blight.
He's still trying to finish up his own Lincoln Sphere. So Monkey King ready to fight up on the top. You don't have his ultimate available, however. So Kingsguard currently off for Coco as SC stunned up under the tower, but Replica will end up saving him. And Monkey King actually got dropped by, I think he actually got dropped by S4. He midnight pulsed the trees and Monkey King hit the ground. So he clipped him on the side. Meanwhile, Ana gets ripped apart by 3 heroes in the mid. Stampede to get him in range, and now 40 seconds without the OD.
That was a really good replicate out, though. It looked like it was right about the black hole. Could have been a whip, too. But he's slippery, that one.
Is him off.
How's our Wisp doing in terms of items? His net worth surprisingly high. 4,300 is pretty good.
Yeah. Well, he's been involved in everything. His own's have been able to actually pick up some of the kills as well.
So looks like Newbee aren't able to get that much accomplished in between the ultis of OG. Something that they want to prevent is fighting into their Enigma with as many items as last game.
Concoction will fly. Obviously, KP can't dodge it, but he can at least get back into a safer location.
Jirax can't find a good place to stand in the fights. He's always a little bit scared.
He's getting caught out. Okay, now that helps him when he sees KP. And KP doesn't have any idea exactly where the Monkey King is, but he can probably assume that that Jirax is in the tree somewhere around there. Jirax is having to keep his little bit more of a distance, so more than likely, just put down the circle on top of the tower, make it difficult for Newbee to try and fight this one, but U9 is ripping apart the tower, and the Alchemist also got copied. They need to bring in OD, they need to bring in Enigma, but it's all too late. OG are not in position to fight this, so Newbee will get the free tier 2.
Something I really like that Sumail did was turn off his Radiance whenever he thinks he's about to get replicated. He didn't that time. I was watching his toggle, but I think it's very important that you don't give him the Radiance buff on the illusion.
Jirax with a stun. There is no real follow-up here, but at least he baits out the Stampede.
Radiance.
It burns. It burns. And it's not even belonging to you.
The net worth lead, I don't even think that Radiant are in a net worth lead, which is never good if you have an Alk. 3,000.
Well, they're going to try and change it around. The smoke maneuver up, but what have they got which really makes this fight more possible? Like,
dragging out the game isn't that bad, though, because they're versus Ursa. Ursa,
they have vision.
Peters off a little bit.
That's actually a really good observer ward up near the tier 2 tower. So it knows that Faith is alone, and it'll also be able to work out the fact that Morphling is up there. The Replicate just would have timed out because he took it for the Aegis, for the for the Alchemist. So they want to try and bring him down. Fresh Observe Ward out in place. Faith instantly popped. SC, they know he's got no massive escape. So he has a strength sword. Lincoln Sphere got delivered. That might buy a little bit of space, but then the Black Hole from S4. He'll come back out of the imprisonment eventually into the control. Or maybe not. The Monkey King ulti is down. SC trying to run the gauntlet of the King's Guard. Not possible. Fly will fall as well. The Ursa wants to fight, but Anna will deny him with the imprisonment. Faith will keep Anna around us to think about this a little bit longer. And now imprisonment, okay, Familiars. Stomp down twice. Create more space. Anna's getting stronger as he steals more and more intelligence for KP. Holds him in place with a great hook stop. No Tower can't do anything anymore. You can try and toggle your way through this, but it won't be enough. The concoction will fly out. And what have you got? A Familiar on the back line? It's a defensive imprisonment. The Familiar can't even hit the ground, and Faith will survive on 58p in front of his tier 2 tower.
That was such a tough call to buy back for Rubik. He was at 1900 gold before. He died, and then he's like, oh man, if I die and this fight goes poorly, I'm never going to get my blink. But he buys back, he steals a pretty important spell in Insanity's Eclipse, and another misfire by OG in the team fight. Oh, looks like KP is in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, until U9's going to arrive now as Jirax is in trouble. He's got 3 one-charges, tries to dodge him by becoming Bark.
That Astral during the Black Hole, though, that just made them take way too long to kill the Morphling.
Yep. That definitely didn't seem like the perfect lacquer of abilities.
They had the Ghost Scepter on him, though. I was actually surprised he was able to get that out so
They're going to jump again on U9. Anna now with a 4-star forward goes to the imprisonment, allowing Flying to get Familiars into position, and they nicely hold the Ursa in position. The Enrage will only delay the damage. Now he'll break free of a 24 intelligence stolen. That is one dumb bear. 300 mana pool to work with, and Anna, one more orb will do the work. And that's a big one for him to take. Over 500 gold for that one kill. Now on bottom lane, S4 is on the run. The Stampede trying to reduce the distance, so S4 will turn. A quick Midnight Pulse will hold him there, buying time for Jirax to arrive. S4 will play the tree lines. Lincoln Sphere gets a trigger as well. He doesn't have enough life to survive this, but he makes Newbee work for it.
I love that play by S4. He's like, I'm going to Black Hole you. And then he didn't even have enough. But they got scared. They were like, it's just a natural reaction when Enigma turns around like that. You're like, oh God, he's going to Black Hole me.
Wait, do we remember the timing? Let me check my clock.
It was still a minute up, but he feigned it. I like that. That was good.
Oh, fantastic play from the boys, and you see Alchemist is #1 on net worth once again. The Enigma is also starting to skyrocket. Same with that kill for the OD. They're getting back to contesting the top 3 net worths, which same in game 1, Newbee were always sitting that little bit further ahead. Obviously game 1 was a different story because the split push battle that came from OG was a lot stronger. But you do still have elements of that coming in from the Alchemist.
Ursa was able to buy his Dezo before he died, so no gold loss for him. And Roche wasn't up. I think OG had to be able to stop the Roches. Ursa has a lot of trouble scaling if he doesn't get the Aegis. If he gets the Aegis, you know, he has a lot more wiggle room. He doesn't have to buy BKB and defensive items and whatnot. He can kill a lot more people, but once you force him to actually build defensive items and not get kited, he's a lot more trouble.
Well, as we can see, thanks to the awesome PGL little symbol, as well as the pop-up that came up, Roshan is now only about 45 seconds away from spawning.
And a DD. That's fun. So what ways do they have
DD will wear out before it, though. It's just going to wear out by the time Roshan spawns.
I don't think that OG are going to know Roshan spawns, though. That's a big problem. Yeah, Monkey King can't get close to the pit because they've been scouting for him constantly, and the Familiars constantly die. They don't have Manta yet on the Alchemist, so no illusion of free scouting for him.
And all their Observer Wards are in the lanes. Like you actually look at the lanes on both of the safe lanes in the middle. That's where you find the Radiant Ops.
It looks like they're grouping up for a smoke, though.
Yeah, I think they understand they have to move in themselves. But they can't take Roshan, right? Like, you're not going to steal it.
They have to just catch him at the right time. Oh, with the BOTs out, actually, was that scouted by the Observer Ward? I'm not actually sure. If they see that, they might be like, well, they don't have Alchemist. Might as well fight.
He BT'd onto the lane.
I know. He BOT'd in the lane from mid, and looks like
they're pushing. They're going to take the tier 2.
Oh, they have the Eidolon scouting the Roche pit. That'll work. That'll work.
But they're still losing their positioning. Like, yeah, you got the Shrine to go to, but you've just lost your tier 1. Your tier 2 town's going to fall as well. The pressure being applied on bottom lanes is probably going to end up with a tier 1 being the trade-off. And Newbee, I was actually interested to see like what they would do if they just go directly into Roshan. There's one TP that goes back to mid lane, and that was the Morphling. And yeah, Ursa, he's going in.
Who cares about that tier 1?
Yeah, you really don't.
And they have the EB up on Morphling. So you mentioned like the Lincolns being popped on the Enigma. That's That's a lot of damage coming out. He's going to be fat. They're actually making a play without the Morphling. Morphling hasted on his own. Is he going to be able to get a solo kill?
If you can only see the Monkey King. I'm wondering if Jirax is going to consider just pouncing down to get the last hit in the tower. No, he won't. He'll let it go. It's a decent amount of money that gets denied up by SC. On top of that, now they get the bonuses from Roshan. Newbee are in a really good position to fight.
Yeah, they can easily tank Black Hole too with the Aegis, or relocate out, or just Morphling, strength morphing. There's a lot of ways for them to deal with it.
Rubik stealing it if they can trigger it. Yeah. There's a lot of options for Newbee in this draft against OG.
They have really good burst now for the Alchemist too. Like you want to be able to kill him just like, you know, a couple of seconds. Even Ursa with the Desert can kill him now. The Morphling can also kill him very quickly.
Can you actually pop him quickly? Because those abilities don't seem to synergize too well. Like you E-Blade pop, you've then got what?
I think it's one or the other is fine. And then they can just like stampede his soul down and finish him off. They don't have a save for it. Actually, Astral's a pretty good save.
Yeah.
So he turns off his Radiance. That's nice. You actually want to turn it off for your Manta Illusion too sometimes, so he doesn't replicate your Manta Illusions, though. This matchup's just not terribly great for the Alp.
Well, Monkey King was able to escape a small little battle there with the Rubik on the bottom lane, but it's the mid lane where the attention turns to U9 under the tower. Gonna get Malphite stunned up. More of annoying than anything else, especially when he gets Rod of Atos. Has to enrage early. The Imprisonment will hold him there and no tell. Well, no extra stuns to arrive, but U9 losing life so quickly. Kaka has to actually trigger up Mech to get him out to safety, but this puts Fate in a very awkward spot. S4 as well as Fly catch him out. And then the relocate, bringing the IO so much closer back. Kaka will fall as well. This is meant to be Newbee's time to shine, but OG take the engagement by bringing down both the supports.
U9 is not the tower hitter. They need SECC to hit the towers. Ursa is just devastatingly poor at hitting towers. You can only hit towers when pretty much the whole team's dead or you're split pushing. But like you have just
getting ready to fight again. Fly, 13 HP, he survived on. The extra stuns will be there from Jirax. If you want to trigger the ulti in this position as well, not easy enough. He got dropped down by the trees. Now your Black Hole will come out, holding the Centaur. The Oni will throw the ulti out as well. So Ursa, the AQC model will trigger. SC looking to come back into this fight if possible. No! That Ursa is a goner. 1 minute on the sidelines, no buyback available for U9. And OG now taking back-to-back engagements.
So actually one of those games where you have to play it a little bit slower as Ursa. I think U9 just really wanted to fight with the Aegis, and he thought that hitting the tower mid would force him to come out, and it surely did, but it put his team in way too compromising of a position. Without the Wisp, it was just easy Black Hole for them. So yeah, now they have multiple tools to kite. You can Atos him to force him to enrage, and then just Astral him immediately after. Great Black Hole by S4. There's just nothing really that Newbee can do at that point. At least they don't lose SCCC. Yeah. So now Ursa's effectiveness in this game is going to be minimal from this point onwards, I think, because he's just going to be kited constantly. And now they have to rely on the Morphling a lot more than they would like to.
Can't believe Fly was actually able to TP himself out of that. He found the smallest little tree to get out of.
It's hard to kill Visage. Shotgun doesn't do that much because of Gravekeepers.
When he's sitting on sub 50 HP though, and then you run in and you focus everything you've got to stop the engagement at the front line.
The only way of getting good vision though is the Wisp, and Wisp was dead at that point. His spirits are really good at getting vision, but I couldn't find him.
Also OG working for them, the Alchemist up on top. Newbee not really finding that nice powerhouse they were looking for just yet. And we start asking ourselves the question, where's these critical items that come in from Newbee to help them gain control in these fights? Because Noctis is progressing pretty damn quickly. He's got the casual plate mail for now, but he's working his way in towards that Octarine.
I think they need BKB on Ursa. Probably the best way for them to deal with the fights.
It was in his quick buy before.
He has to get BKB or else the OD will kite him nonstop. It's just too problematic playing against these items. The Atos and the Force Staff and the Astral. You can't get enrage. You can't get Astral during enrage. If you do that, you're just useless afterwards. You can't blink out. You don't have any defensive ability, and you're definitely not going to be hitting anyone because you're just going to die.
KP, silent, hugging the trees, and Monkey King pounced around him but didn't see him. If Jirax jumps up now, we need to jump to the left side to actually see him. He's guessing. He's guessing KP is somewhere there, but he can't smell the Centaur in the trees.
They're trying to set up a relocate, but that's going to be a disaster because the Enigma's there with Black Hole. So that's a no-go.
Oh, they'll TP to the towers instead. Okay.
He has a reserve ward behind though.
KP, does he? There's a lot coming up. So yeah, Observer was behind, but Newbee find a better angle to approach into. They go for the familiars. Both stuns will connect as SC also waveforms in on top of the Enigma conversions. Doesn't kill off any of them, but he finds the Monkey King, explodes him with a shotgun, and Face looking to bring in the powers of Monkey King. The Rubik, obviously the master of all abilities, but KP, the master of the double hook stop, catching two of the back lines, but no one for Newbee to get closer. Now Newbee jumps forward with that BKB, focusing No-Tail. He's a critical kill if he can bring him down for the moment. So needs a grab from Faith will allow him to do so. So No-Tail will fall. Flyers on the run, the TP out from OD. They'll be successful thanks to the space created by the familiars. Newbee will have to camp these up to bring him down. That's exactly what they want. There's no respawn for them as well.
What a great flank by Newbee. Being able to approach from like the east and the south at the same time just made it impossible for S4 to Black Hole. He had a great Midnight Pulse, but Ursa just enraged, turned on his BKB, and with those, you don't actually have a good way to deal with BKBs except for Black Hole. That's the only way they can actually fight into it unless they just want to run away, which is not going to be easy. Not a good fight to give up for OG. I don't actually know how they win the team fights though. Is it all on the Black Hole? I guess they can also just rely on the OD stealing a lot of intel.
Well, this definitely helps. Quick TP out as KP. The imprisonment will cancel that TP. And Anna will have probably hit him one more time with Norm. Okay, 2 times he tries to pipe. But that won't be enough to survive.
Pickoffs like this just lead to worse and worse things because OD has plus 24 int from this fight. Extra, what, 200 damage on everyone in the Sanities?
Yep. And each time like OD gets closer and closer towards level 25, he may take the ability to hold on to that intel even longer.
Roshan gonna respawn soon.
Yeah, judging by our time, we're still looking at a good another 2, maybe 3 minutes before he's up.
Black Hole's still not used yet. Now Alchemist has most of the items that he needs. They need to be able to find a Wisp in the team fight. And Illusions and the Familiars are going to be doing an important job of scouting. Who's Ursa's main target, though? Ursa?
Well, in the last fight, it was definitely Alchemist he wanted. And he committed everything to bring him down. But maybe it is worthwhile switching your targets towards the OD. Because how much? But then again, who's doing more work? You got to fear the OD going into the later part of the fight if you're not focusing him at the start, because his intel's going to increase and increase.
They have to kite the BKBs on OG. I think that's the most important thing. If they can kite both BKBs, the Morphling and the Ursa, they can actually turn around with the fight. But if they don't, then they're going to lose 1 or 2 cores during that fight, or the Enigma. And
so you're happy to let the start of the fight go because OD can't steal the intel from the cores.
Well, if you can get a big Black Hole, you start the fight, but I don't think they're going to be able to do so. They're having a lot of trouble just getting a jump.
They saw the Monkey King. Faith slapped him down, will just drag him back up again. So Jirax, he was exploded before the last fight began. And now he'll go down for 43 seconds, and this is when Roshan's up at about a minute time.
Really good wardage, though, by Newbee. Like Monkey King, he's been dying a lot. He died in that top T2 fight immediately after he casted his ultimate. Newbee is doing a fantastic job of just annihilating him at the start of the fight. They don't even have to commit that many spells to him too. It's like a EB, maybe a blink and a overpower from the Ursa. Nothing huge.
Well, he's not tanky. It's the downside, right, of the Monkey King. If he can't survive, he can't keep his ulti down. Compared to other heroes like the Earth Spirit, which Newbee banned out in the first phase of this game.
Centaur's going for hard again over to Scepter. So Scepter really good, I would say, for multiple reasons. Not only damage running, you can actually run over the trees too.
Get out of there, Faith. He'll blink up. Wow. His Observer Ward saw him coming. He knew what was happening, but the stuns are coming in their way. Roshan's up in a couple of seconds time. Stampede. It's not going to be enough for Faith, even with a 3-man stun.
Still a smoke pop for a Rubik kill.
Yeah,
and it looks like
it lets him have Roshan while Rubik is down.
Fly is inside the pit.
Yep. Roshan just spawned up. Mass pings coming out from the Rubik. He knows He knows this is going on. SC gonna jump himself down, waveforms in. How much damage are you gonna do with the BKB? Maybe hell of a lot, but Jirak, it's a great ulti and the double stun, keeping the rest of Newbee out. Remember, they don't have Stampede for this fight, so they can't just instantly correct the positioning here. And U9, he is 1v4 into the front lines. He kills off S4. He never got the black hole off. And U9 once more. The familiar drop down. He'll dodge them out, but now Anna, with all that intel stolen, 28 points of it, he wants to pump out the damage. The Eclipse is still available. He'll throw it down, but U9 is still up and standing. Maybe not for much longer. The orb will miss uphill, but still the familiars there doing the work, plus the extra illusions of the Alchemist.
Wow.
A triple kill for Ana. But Faith is back to the world of the living. Not sure what he can do, but it's enough. Maybe push OG away from the pit.
That was ridiculous amounts of damage from Ascendi's clips. Oh my god. 18 hits with Arcane Orb.
Damage up. Let's see it again. You can see it brewing. Like, S4 lets this one rip it out. It's like, okay, I'm still good. I'm still good.
I really like the item choice of the Atos, though. It makes his life a lot easier. It prevents the Morphling from being able to waveform, and that's just so many seconds.
He had 32 when the Eclipse dropped.
It's crazy how much damage he did that fight.
Yeah. So, OG, they are going to go for Roshan. No one from Newbee's going to buy back for this. They just have to let it happen. There's nothing Rubik can do to stop it. Even with their good vision to the south and the east of the pit, it wasn't enough for the fight. They really needed that Stampede.
Yeah, they really need an Axe Stampede. I actually think Axe is way better than Hard
Faith is actually in a lot of trouble. Midnight Pulse plus the stun. So you get another kill over on the Rubik. Faith multiple times being picked off, but now with OG having Aegis the Immortal, they can push up the mid and do quite significant amount of damage.
I like how they just ignore Ana in a lot of these fights. That's how it seems to be. You focus on Ana in the early game, and in the later game, he just does whatever he wants. His positioning's also just been incredible, though. Like, he was on the high ground, protected by the Enigma Black Hole, however brief. The threat of it was still big enough so that no one could actually approach.
Oh, Kaka needs to tend the target. He's got one. Gonna be back towards the mid. But that tier 2 tower is toast, and it's really up to Newbee now. They have to tighten the ship. There's been too many slide pickoffs that OG have managed to get. The Morphling needs time to be more powerful as well. So far, I haven't really felt his influence has been more looking towards the Ursa. And the Ursa's still sitting at the 5th highest net worth on the field.
It's a big problem because both of them had to build BKBs, whereas nobody on OG does. So they're doing a lot more damage in the fights. That's BKB and Lincolns. Impossible to stack Black Hole.
I love how too, like, you hold to your BTs over keeping your armlet. He traded out his armlet for the cheese on No-Tell. Well, that's a nice little start thing for Rubik coming into this fight. Able to steal Chemical Rage. Fadebolt to slow down the pressure. Tier 3 tower still taking chip damage, and they're coming back. Mid lane was where there was a little bit more push being applied by the Morphling. Enough to make OG retreat. So Newbee not forced into a heavy engagement. But U9 would love to have one. Jirax has to go for a quick stun, jumps over towards the tree line. Stampede giving him the movement speed. Jirax TPing out, and Newbee can't work out where.
Life of an Ursa. You always want to fight. No one wants to fight you until like 40 minutes in when you just get kited constantly.
That's another Stampede burn though. Another one. Like, it's going to take not that long for it to come off cooldown.
Okay, he didn't get hard. Thank God. Definitely need a Scepter. Scepter is the only way to deal with Black Hole, and it's great at killing Monkey King. You run over trees, knock the trees down, kill him. Because he's always up in the cliff area and whatnot. And he needs to be able to protect the Morphling of the Ursa, because they're doing way more damage than he is. If you get Heart as a Centaur, you're just pretty much giving the OD more in. And he's happy to trade, like, return. His return is not terribly great here at all. I guess it kills the birds, but birds are probably the least of your concerns.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Tier 2 tower's going to now go down, so Newbee, they want to defend their base, but they're already doing the prep work. The bottom lane's pushing in quite nicely. The middle lane's being pressured by the IO, even though Visage Familiars are making that a little bit more difficult. The Monkey King, a great Observe Ward sitting inside the base. They see Faith. Potentially, Jurek can just off with a very quick stun, but Faith triggers the Chemical Rage. Now, the Rubik a little bit more difficult to kill off. And SC also returns to the fight.
They could set up with a big blink black hole, but if they slightly misstep or if like Wisp is tethering and shrining up at the same time, people are just not going to die. I think it's super risky to fight inside the base close to the shrines.
That observable got scattered out. As Monkey King pounced away, Newbee instantly pinged. So they understand that ward sitting on, at least I think they understand the ward sitting on the top side of the base. Either that or they just thought, hey, Monkey King was there.
I think they're just pinging out Monkey King so they can get some more split push pressure on the map.
All right. 25 gold for the Aghanims over on Centaur.
Ooh, Ag's up on Rubik. That's actually pretty good.
Ag's Rubik, Ag Centaur. A lot of negation now of the damage that OG will be looking to pump out at the very, very start.
Ag's Rubik is a big deal, so he can deal with the Linken's Enigma. He can just spell steal once to pop it and then spell steal twice through the BKB. So that's kind of important. Ag's on Centaur, already talked about that.
Now Enigma actually has 2 of them. He's got Refresh for all.
And he's also going to have Ag soon. I saw Alchemist was really close to finishing. So yeah, he has it right now.
Are you actually going to prioritize?
I think you give it to Enigma. Blink Black, from his point of view, Blink BKB Linken's Black Hole is unstoppable.
Unless they consider it. Yeah, S4 is hovering around him.
Yeah.
Unless they consider the OD imprisonment as the setup for the Black Hole. Hey, you mentioned it before, man.
It's like
just flagging it.
I
there
would
it is. It's S4.
say you give it to Visage. I think Moonshard is even more priority than either Ags. I think you get Moonshard OD before any of those.
Well, Aegis Immortal now is reclaimed, so they only have the cheese left now, OG on No-Tail. And Newbee still have their base intact, so again, we're going to be approaching roughly the hour mark to try and complete this game.
Things could get hairy next Roshan though. I think Newbie know they have to take it, whereas OG, they're pretty comfortable with the position they're in right now.
Yeah, but having the Aghanim Scepter on KP makes this next fight really, really good for Newbee. Their sustain has become 10 times better. Obviously, they still need to kill the OD, or else OD is like, okay, well, you can sustain, but I'll continue to steal your intelligence.
I think Wisp actually needs to stay alive in the fight. He's the one that's going to be talking people off after standing these Eclipse, maybe relocating people out of Black Hole, and he is...
Well, that's not a great little confidence boost at this point.
A lot is on you, Kaka.
I got so much to do. Crap, I cliffed myself.
It's kind of similar to Fate's position in the last game.
Yeah.
He needs to do a lot, but with very few items and just a very squishy hero.
Man, there's so much pressure on both supports. Like we talk about like just Fate getting picked off before Roshan happened previously. Stampede being used to try and save him. Like a moment like that sort of actually cost you all the advantages you needed going into Roshan. Not to mention being a man down. But the Morphling's getting bigger and bigger. A fresh Skadi has now arrived for him. Oh, jump up from G-Rex, careful. And S4 steals an Invis Rune. There's a little bit more support. Concoction split up. Unai knew it. Blinked away quickly. Did not want to get caught out in these fights, but Newbee is still being very visible. Those 2 observer wards, okay, the one in the mid lane just timed out. They picked it out saying, oh, guys, we realized we were visible the entire time.
If they can't get too close to the Roche Pit, they're going to lose the game. I think they have to be able to approach that area somehow. Smoke, gem, like any of these items to regain control of the area. I think having another Aegis on OD is potentially game losing.
Yeah. Turak scribbled out the top lane. I think he wants that lane pushed all the way up towards the tower. Thanks to their observer ward, they'll understand who is still sitting up there from Newbee, and it could just be enough to keep Newbee away from Roshan.
So Smoke immediately pops, no tail. They know that one's real, but...
Oh, S4 double damage. He can look sick while he blinks in. All right, there's your jump. Again, it's Faith, the sacrificial lamb. Do they want to stampede for this one? No, they do not. That Rubik is dead for a full minute, and they start creep skipping out. That's what SC does. Keep the creep waves away, keep OG running behind themselves and not pressuring out, and he knows he's safe. As long as you got the replicate, you're okay.
They have the Hex now on OD. That's a big problem. Very, very big problem. Because now, like, the BKBs can kind of be countered. They can just blow up the supports like that with very little counterplay, and Newbee are falling further and further behind in terms of items. What's Alp getting next? Still a lot of gold.
And you can buy up that moonshot if you're looking for it.
Yeah, you can also get a like AC or something like that. Butterfly, I think Butterfly's really good too. because Ursa can't hit through that at all.
And he wants to build a Bastion, not a MKB. A little bit of trouble. E-Blade pop, the great saving, making it very difficult to attack into KP. The Astral Imprison will hold him inside the guard. And will it be enough with the BT forward to turn on the Blade Mail, try and keep himself alive, but it just won't happen. KP will fall on a huge amount of time on the sideline. 80 seconds. There was no relocate, save out. There was nothing like that. And OG, they could go in. No Stampede, no Centaur. Or they can take Roshan.
OD is
but
doing
he's not up yet.
So much here. I really liked how he saved the Astral for the Stampede too, knowing that was his only way out, despite SCCC's best efforts. So now they're stuck in this position. They can't even get close to Roche. Like, that's just not even a thing.
Yeah. They have to wait. They have to wait for OG to come to them and then get a better position. No-Tail's the only one who's a little bit exposed. Faith. Well, he's only ever going to get really chemical rage from that Alchemist.
Blade Mail's a little surprising. It's not great versus Ursa because of his enrage. Yeah, he has it on Alk, and then a lot of the times, like, Morphlings will come with their shotgun with the waveform, so they're invulnerable during the waveform, so you're not doing that much damage. But it's still makes them reconsider how they want to approach the fights. Another way to deal to force out an enrage out of the Ursa.
Newbee really need to get some vision on the map. Like, their observer wards are so deep on the OG side, they're watching around the secret shop as well as just south of the Ancients. So they see when OG fall back, but right now OG are very happy to be aggressive. They've only got like another 10, 20 seconds before Roshan's going to spawn.
The thing is, they see them, but they can't do anything about it. Yeah. As the panel was mentioning, you have to win a team fight in order to win the game. And when you have Enigma, you generally have the better team fight, unless you have some way to the Rubik deal with it, like Rubik or just stronger team fight. You know, more big AoE ultimates. But
the observer ward sees everything from OG.
They need a gem.
And they just put their own observer ward on top of the sentry ward that's already down. So No-Tail will reveal himself. Concoction will fly up. SC is going to get hit by that as well. So OG, they lost the vision. The ward was dewarded. So we just kind of wrap around into multiple areas. It's a little bit further up towards the tower. KP and Kaka trying to retreat. There's no tier 2 tower for them to be really protected on. Remember that Aghanim Stampede's available. Kaka, Troll concocted on him. S4 blink forward. He's looking for the black hole. If he can get it, 3 of them just on the tip. Throw out the damage and take the kills. As he's got no life to work with. He's having to springboard himself out. Another black hole. You can steal it and return it. That's what the Rubik's capable of doing. But the Suns will arrive and so will Anna, bringing in the damage that the OD dishes out. A buyback in from the Ursa, but it's desperation now from Newbee. They're down 2 heroes. They don't have the Stampede because Centaur cannot buy back. So Wukong up, attack the tier 3 tower, take the racks as well. They potentially can push for more, but they don't want to push it too far unless they can do that! The explosion! OD was holding all of it. Uno will fall. That's really the game. You've lost everyone. There's no buyback really left available. It's all on the backs of the Morphling SC, but it will slip off his back, and GG is called. OG will take the series 2-0 on the back of the Ana Ultra kill.
And now you see a lot of the power of the Monkey King. That last fight was won, I think, almost solely by a placement of that Observer Ward. And they were able to catch the Centaur before he popped his Ags ult. And just generally way better team fight coming out from OG. They play super well around the Enigma.